One America Votes, along with SAGE leaders and Washington Community Alliance Action Fund, come together each year to determine the first mile candidate slate process that centers community and community voices in the endorsement process. One America Votes builds power in immigrant and refugee communities across Washington state to make lasting systemic change at the intersections of immigration, education, and democracy. We combine grassroots organizing, advocacy, and elections through a year-round organizing strategy to move the needle on our issue work. We know that without people like us in the halls of power, our communities will continue to suffer at the hands of oppressive systems that keep our communities in crisis. Our vision is that everyone, regardless of race, immigration status, economic status, gender, and age, have the ability to live full, joyous, and dignified lives. First Mile is a huge part of our success in electing those furthest from power into local and state government to make our vision a reality. Given the unfair election systems in this country, it is impossible to run for office and win without raising considerable funds. To be a competitive candidate in a state legislative race, you have to raise upwards of $200,000. People like us do not have the ability to self-fund our campaigns. People like us do not have family members or community members who can cut $1,000 checks at the drop of a hat. That is why First Mile is so crucial. We ask donors to invest in the candidates who need the most help getting their campaigns funded, and are vetted by community members inside of our organizations who will be at the center of holding them accountable once elected. Our work doesn't end on Election Day. Our community leaders work to support and hold our endorsed candidates accountable to delivering on legislative wins for our community, not just maintaining the status quo. At One America Votes, we organize a committee of dedicated community leaders from Southwest Washington, Central Washington, and South King County to come together to make decisions alongside us on who we want to support in positions up and down the ballot. Our grassroots leaders do research on races, interview candidates for endorsement, and make recommendations on who our organization should endorse and move resources to. First Mile members then take those recommendations and organize money towards these BIPOC first-time candidates who need help raising the funds needed to win. Our process is powerful for our community leaders. People who've been told their entire lives that they are powerless are invited into our process to take real leadership and make big decisions on who will represent us. This work is a huge part of how we develop immigrant, refugee, and BIPOC civic leaders in order to build a pipeline of leadership in our communities and inspire more community members to run for local office in the future. One America Votes is a proud First Mile partner. Our work together is changing how elections get decided and who is able to hold power in the state of Washington. Through our participation in the program, we've been able to elect the most diverse and progressive state legislature in Washington state's history. We've been able to elect Black and brown mothers to school boards, races that shouldn't be decided by money, but unfortunately are. We've been able to change the makeup of the Seattle Port Commission by electing 2 first-time candidates, who are also women of color and come from the labor and immigrant rights movements. First Mile supported 2019 Seattle Port candidate Hamdi Mohammed, a Somali immigrant and daughter of port workers, started her journey in public life here at One America as an intern 10 years ago. Through investing in her leadership and pushing her to pursue opportunities in public life, Hamdi grew the confidence and power she needed to make a run for office and to be the first Somali woman elected to a port commission in Washington state. Her journey is no different than those who are part of our endorsement committee now. We intentionally seek out women, immigrants, and refugees and ask them to take leadership in our electoral work. Hamdi herself was a member of our endorsement committee before running for office. Our dream is to fill the halls of government with dozens of women of color like Hamdi, who know firsthand what it is like to struggle as an immigrant or refugee in this country and who are going to be held accountable and supported by us to utilize their positions of power to make long-term systemic change. With First Mile, One America Vote's first-time BIPOC candidates get the support they need to run powerful campaigns that win. Until we have the ability to change campaign finance rules, we need programs like First Mile to have a fighting chance in electoral politics.